Okay, by way of review, the Tempest is running this weekend. This is the last weekend, so Saturday, Sunday. If you want to see the Tempest, you need to do that. You need to go right now, get your tickets, whether you do it online, call, whatever it is you do, you need to do that right now. But this is not your last opportunity to see Tamara Tunie on stage, because she's moving from the Pittsburgh Public Theater after this weekend. She's already in rehearsals for a production at the City Theater.
Yes, yes. I'm doing a double header in Pittsburgh, if you will. Yeah, I'm doing a play called The Roommate at City Theater. And
why does that make me laugh just when you say The Roommate?
And it just happened to line up with the Tempest in a great way. And as you mentioned, I'm performing the Tempest at night now and rehearsing for The Roommate during the day. And the wonderful thing is that Lori Klatcher, who is my cast member in The Roommate, it's a two-person play.
Okay.
And she's my roommate. And she's also in The Tempest as well.
Oh, no kidding.
So both of us are doing the same double thing, and so we're kind of in this together. So it's great. It's great.
Now, The Roommate is the story of?
The Roommate, well, we call it The Odd Couple Meets Breaking Bad. So it's a bit of a romp, and my character is a woman who lives in the Midwest, and her son lives in New York City. She's divorced, she lives alone, and she decides to put an ad up for a roommate because she's lonely. And so a woman arrives, played by Lori Klatcher, from the Bronx, New York. So it's the Midwest meets the Bronx, and so so hilarity ensues.
So then between the two, the Tempest and the Roommate, this gives you a long period of time in Pittsburgh. And we talked about the fact that you come home on a regular basis.
I do.
But this is a long stretch.
Yes.
It gives you an opportunity to meet almost the new Pittsburgh.
It's true. I'm experiencing Pittsburgh in a whole new way. First of all, I'm living downtown.
Okay.
You know, and I shared with a lot of my cast members, I said, you know, growing up, nobody lived downtown.
Right.
You worked downtown, you shopped downtown, you went to the movies downtown. So this whole concept of live, play, eat, you know, that's happening downtown, I think is thrilling and amazing, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Do you feel excited for Pittsburgh? I mean, when I look around and I say to one of the regular guests on the show, Janice Burley Wilson from the August Wilson Center.
Yes.
And there's so much going on in Pittsburgh. That's a different Pittsburgh as well.
Culturally, it's phenomenal. You know, it really is phenomenal. The cultural district, you know, that has, you know, Heinz Hall, Benedum, O'Reilly, you know, jazz clubs, everything kind of all right there. It's great. And for me, having been a New Yorker for the past, you know, 30 years, and, you know, New York is very much a pedestrian city and everything is right at your fingertips. You know, I almost have that feel on a smaller scale living downtown, you know, where I can just bop into a restaurant or go to the theater. You know, Hamilton was in town and I was able to go see that because I had friends in the show. So it was, it's really great, I think. It's really great. And the city looks beautiful.
I think it's interesting because those of us who grew up here didn't see this on the horizon.
No.
And I think it's, you know, for us, a lot of it was, I can't wait to grow up and get out of Pittsburgh.
Sure.
But now Pittsburgh is becoming a destination point for young people, which I think is kind of exciting.
Which is very exciting. And also for people in the arts, you know, as you said, I mean, for me, the only option was to go to New York or Los Angeles when I left Carnegie Mellon. And, but now, you know, people, my fellow actors who are in the show who are based in Pittsburgh, you know, they're like, we can make a living as artists in the city. And that's thrilling. I mean, that's really, really great. And, you know, I left Pittsburgh for New York in the 80s. It was when the steel industry had collapsed. And, you know, and Pittsburgh is truly, you know, an example of a successful reinvention. That's really, really exciting.
I think the other thing that I find is, especially when performers come to town, whether it's for the Public Theater or City Theater, when they get here, they're pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised. Many of my cast members have fallen in love with Pittsburgh.
No kidding.
They have fallen in love with the city.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now, we talk about Pittsburgh, we talk about the Pittsburgh Public Theater, we talk about City Theater, and yet you have another project.
I do, but before we move on, I just want to say that the Roommate at City Theater performances begin March 5th.
Okay.
Previews begin March 5th, and we open March 8th, just so everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that. And here's what we'll do. I'll talk to the web people, and we'll just make sure there are links to
That would be great.
both, to the City Theater and Pittsburgh Public
Exactly.
Theater. When the show airs, when you watch us online, we'll just put that under our links and numbers.
Exactly. But
And
what you were bringing up was my series on Netflix.
on Netflix, and that's where we're going to stop. We're going to take another break.
Okay.
Because, you know, there have been so many Netflix productions in Pittsburgh recently, too.
Yes.
That, you know, we feel a little bit of ownership in that, too.
Good.
So
Absolutely.
we're going to talk about your series next. Glad we had a whole half an hour to do this. We'll be right back.